I have another question about education, specifically regarding sexual education in schools. There has been some discussion about that. Transgenders read aloud at various primary schools. This has made many people angry. I read in the government program on page 76. Actually, the only thing I read about it is that we are focusing on neutral and age-appropriate goals in both primary and secondary education, for example, regarding relational and sexual education. So, neutral and age-appropriate goals. I would like to see some implementation of that. As far as the Prime Minister is concerned, that means that there will be no transgenders introduced to 6-year-old children, for example. I would indeed find that neutral and age-appropriate. Or does that mean that there are indeed transgenders at that age in primary education? But it is not just a factual question. It is also about the values of this cabinet. I remember that we had a bit of a clash with the People's Party for Freedom and Democracy. During the debate on the government statement, Ms. Giselka then said that it was truly a fundamental value for her, that everyone can be themselves. They meant that transgenders are presented normal at a young age. I personally do not find it normal. I would not want my children to see or experience that. I believe it is something that adults should primarily do behind closed doors. You can embrace that as a rarity in a city, but I would really consider that a fundamental value of an educational style so that you keep it away from young children. There are also various other factions in this chamber that think the same way. I still think it's good to address it in the second round, but I would like to hear something about the fundamental beliefs of this Prime Minister regarding that point. I believe it is a principled issue. It is a matter of principle. Do you, as a society, find it normal for young children to be confronted with transgenders and such matters? Or would you actually prefer to keep that a bit away from young people?
Chairman, at this point, I would actually like to make just one remark, namely the statement, and if I misphrase it, Mr. Baudet should correct me immediately, about transgenders in the city as something strange. This really marginalizes people. I would like to caution against that. That is my request to Mr. Baudet.
In conclusion, well, with all due respect for people and with empathy, and it seems very unpleasant to me to be born in the wrong body and so on, but this is also indeed something like confusion among young people who are learning what sexuality is. They are entering puberty, they are getting breasts or other things for the first time. They think, help, what should I do with that? As a society, you can say that we strongly discourage people from undergoing gender surgeries, transitioning, and so on, or you can say that we are going to normalize that. I think it is better to discourage that. If someone then reaches adulthood, yet deciding to undergo such a significant operation is a right that everyone has. However, not at such a young age as is currently the case, where children can already receive hormone blockers starting at 11. That the NOS explains to children how to illegally order hormone blockers. What many people do not know is that those hormone blockers mean chemical castration. You will be infertile for the rest of your life. Then you can never have sex in a natural, normal way again. That is very impactful.
The Prime Minister, Chairperson. The Health Council is conducting research into the so-called Dutch approach. As soon as those reports are available, the debate about them can take place in an orderly manner here in the chamber.